Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel today with Baby Mae. So my topic today is about the wedding.
Yay!
Finally, Daddy Paul and me for
Husband.
Yeah.
See? Husband and wife.
Yes. So Daddy Paul talking about that.
Oh yeah, we got a little disclaimer here. During the wedding, on this phone, I gave it to Mae's sister Georgia Lynn, and I thought she had videotaped the entire ceremony. That wasn't the case. She videotaped for a while, and I guess you said she stopped and took a picture?
Yeah.
And I wasn't paying attention to what she was doing because I was focused on Mae.
Yeah.
So what we had originally intended to show on this video was our wedding ceremony from start to finish. It doesn't exist, unfortunately. But we have some clips. And the good news is the clips that we do have are pretty much the highlights.
Yeah.
And so at the end of this video, Mae knows how to paste them together. I think we've got about a total of 1.5 to 2 minutes of two or three different, moments, if you will, in the ceremony that are good.
Yeah.
So viewer warning, that's coming up at the end. Okay.
Yeah.
So that disclaimer is out. We got that out in the open. And so what did you want to talk about here in your wedding video?
I have the subscriber for comment as me. What is the change after the marriage?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess the subscriber wants to know what our feelings are. Do you want me to tell you mine?
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty simple. I had actually started back in December. This is February, right?
Yeah, February.
End of February. So, 14 months ago, asked Mae if she'd like to get married. She accepted, and we got engaged, but we kept it very low-key, very, very quiet. We did not want to turn it into a circus. And then in March, I went back to America to see my family and my father and friends, and I also had a mission that I kept undercover, was I needed a copy of my divorce decree. Because I didn't bring it with me when I came out here 6 years ago. I brought birth certificates and other things that I thought would be pertinent. But I didn't have any plans on getting married when I came out here, and now look what happened. So anyway, I did that, and I got that handled. And then we talked about it, and other things happened where, like, we planned a trip to go to Thailand, and we did that. And then just life happened. And then about 4 months ago, I said, we need to make this deal complete. We need to get married. Let's make it happen. She originally wanted to get married in the church.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm cool with that. That's fine. We could have the whole thing where you can walk you down the aisle, and the father, and I got a best man, and we do the whole hoopla. And so she went to the church, right, and checked it out.
Yeah.
And you came home and said, I don't think we're going to do this in the church. Apparently, it's a lot more complex, and there's money involved, and all this, that, and the other. So I'm still not clear. But she was dead set to get married in a church. And I wasn't going to argue with it. Fine.
Yeah.
But one day of researching that, she flipped. So we ended up going to the mayor in Valencia.
Yeah.
And how do I feel about it? Well, to me, it's kind of like a puzzle that's been completed. You take that last piece of the puzzle and stick it in, and it's done, and it's complete. So I feel like you and me are complete.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been together for so long, and to me, it simply means that I feel reassured that, because I trust you 1,000% as far as your feelings towards me.
Yeah.
And regardless of what the naysayers say. So it's kind of reassuring to me to know that, something happens, you're there. It's also reassuring to me that I have something to leave to you, someone to leave something to when I do depart the planet. And that's going to be you, because you've been the one person in my life that has proven to be faithful and loyal and loving, much more than anybody else that's crossed my path. So that to me is very fulfilling.
Yeah.
That's my answer, and I'm sticking
Yeah.
to it. How about you? What's your feeling?
I'm so proud, and then thank you to Lord because my long wish, God answered my praying, because finally Daddy Paul and me for married, and then people not call me, oh, Baby Mae, I think Paul only using because it's so long time not proposed for married, and then still live in. So finally, in now I'm your the wife. I'm so happy that people not call me, oh, she is a only live-in partner. But now I'm so happy because people call me, oh, Mrs. McGill. I'm
Just
so
gotta learn
happy.
my name first. Sorry for you. We're still working on that.
I'm very proud that people call the Mrs. McGill.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So that's like a lifelong dream. When you were a little kid, did you dream about getting married and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of women do that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the, I don't know, to me it's kind of ridiculous, but it's a reality out here, and that is status, and how people view you is huge. Personally, I don't care what people think of me. I mean, if they like me, great. If they don't, that's fine. Yeah, I don't care. And there's an old saying, don't worry about what people think of you, because they seldom do. But in the Filipina's head, it is never ending. What do they think? What are they saying? What's my image? How's it?
Yeah.
How am I perceived? And she freely admits it, and that's a big deal to her, and it's a big deal to a lot of women.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I won't mention any names, but 3 or 4 days after we got married, she had like 5 people unfriend her. It's like, what do we do to you? It's just like, nothing. I just got married. Now they're mad. So I said, jealous? I said, okay, whatever. That's how weird the dynamic is out here on this whole marriage deal. So anyway, okay, well, this is your video. I don't want to take it over. What else you got going on? What else is in there?
And then, finally, I always check the Daddy Paul Facebook. Your messenger, I always check, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, every day, every night. Who the message have the lady, but finally, I'm your the wife.
So that's you're gonna stop doing that now?
Yeah.
No, you're not. She checks my phone all the time.
Are you okay?
It's like, I don't know what you're looking for, because maybe the first year there was a little iffy stuff going on, but as far as still being friends with people, but last 3 years there's nothing. You'll be able to come to me and go, hey, what's this? Who's that? So I don't know.
But it's okay with you, that right?
I don't care.
Yeah, because I'm your
And I never
wife.
check her phone. I mean, I don't have any moment of doubt whatsoever.
Yeah.
But apparently, you don't trust me.
I trust you, but I need, in the Philippines.
Trust but verify.
In the Philippines,
Well, there is an element of, I don't know, it's like vindictiveness or something, where if it's, what's it called? It's called crab mentality, where if somebody sees you happy, it's because crabs try to crawl out of a bucket, the other crabs will pull it back down. And so that's what happens to her and other Filipinas, not just her exclusively. But the minute she starts to elevate a little bit in some way, shape, or form towards some happiness, there's others trying to pull her down. So I think that's what she does. When she checks my phone, she wants to see if other women are hitting on me or saying things or mentioning stuff. Didn't people unfriend you after we got married?
I don't know, because I'm not always check my Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, how people ask me, can you ask to Paul, after the marriage, Baby Mae have the change the attitude?
Oh, well, actually, Mae's always had a pretty damn good attitude, except when it comes to other women. Even as friends, she gets jealous. But that's okay. But I've seen that her demeanor, I guess would be the way to put it, has mellowed out. She just seems a little more reassured, self-assured. I mean, she knows that, because what happens out here, there's a dynamic that they're very, very aware of. And that is the guys will move the girl in, and they'll be with them for sometimes extended periods of time, like we've been together. and then just bail out because the going gets a little tough. And now she's left with whatever she started with. And that's not going to be the case with me. And so I think there's a feeling of completion for her. I think that, I mean, when I talk to her, she just appears. It's not like I got to peel her off the ceiling or anything. It's not like she's high on helium and so giddy and happy. But there is just a reassured look on her face. And I think with more and more time that she's already confident, but that confidence in us will grow. The bond will get stronger. And she'll finally start getting rid of these thoughts, of doubt. I think the doubt has left you. That, are we serious about this or not?
Yeah.
So, and it's not fair when marriage and status of marriage is so important to this culture that we don't fulfill that for them. They deserve that.
Yeah.
It's my feeling. Anything else there,
yeah.
Captain? What else you got?
Okay. Baby Mae is change the lifestyle. She is getting social. She's buy the expensive bag or buy the jewelries. Can you explain that? Because have another Filipina after the married.
Here we go. See, it's another Filipina.
Yeah, that's the comment in my YouTube channel.
Okay,
yeah.
so what they say?
Other the Filipina after the married the foreigner, she is a change the lifestyle. Getting social, buy the expensive bag, expensive jewelries. Can you answer that?
Yeah, well, Mae hasn't changed. In other words, there wasn't some light bulb that pulled up and she said, oh great, I got access to his bank, I'm half this, half that. That's not there. She's never been like that to begin with. It's at her core. She'll never go there. I would leave her with my wallet. In fact, I do leave her with my wallet. Sometimes I just hand it to her. I don't worry about that kind of stuff. We have observed, or she has especially observed, more than me, once this has happened and the woman feels secure, then she's not so shy as to try to elevate the material goods, if you will. And so, no, Mae. In fact, when I told Mae to go buy a wedding dress, she started off with okay. And I insisted that, no, you buy a new friggin' dress. And we went to Robinson's, which I insisted upon. Yeah. You didn't want to go. You're like, no, it's too much money. And I said, no, we're going. And we couldn't find one pretty dress at Robinson's. I mean, they were terrible looking.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, I'd rather take a bullet to the head than go clothes shopping with a woman. So you go with your sister. I said, I forget how much pesos I gave you. I said, here, just knock yourself out. Go buy a dress and go buy some new shoes.
Yeah.
And so you sent me pictures of 3 different dresses.
Yeah.
And I said, I like dress number 2. And so that's what she bought.
Yeah.
And then when she came back, she gave me my change. And she said, well, I bought the dress, and guess what? It was a lot less than at Robinson's, and it's nicer, and it's prettier. And I said, where are your shoes? And she goes, that's okay, I already got shoes. And so that just kind of sums it up, okay, that statement right there. Mae's not money hungry or status hungry. You don't see a lot of bling on her, or me for that matter. One thing she'll never do, I know for a fact, is something like nails, the big long acrylic nails.
Yeah.
I offered it to her one time. I said, hey, would you like to have, those nails for like the photo shoots and stuff that we do for YouTube? She goes, nah, I wash clothes, I wash dishes. They'll just fall off. And they don't, I'm still a province person, and so why would I go there? It's just not her style.
Okay.
To answer your question?
Yeah, the last question
thank God, the last question.
From the subscriber.
Okay.
Paul is the family to Baby Mae asking to Paul for support. Send to me to Baby Mae and then up until now for married.
Never.
Can you share?
Never once. has her family had their hand out and asked me for any money. Now, occasionally I've paid for a couple of things that I felt were important,
Yeah.
but they never asked me for it. In fact, I had to grind the information out of it. So I think I've paid for like 1.5 funerals.
Oh, yeah.
Your grandmother died, I paid for that.
Yeah, my
And then
grandma.
somebody else died, I forget who.
Risa husband.
And I paid for half of that because somebody else had already kicked in.
Yeah.
I think when I bumped into your parents, when we've seen them, I would sometimes give them a gift of 1,000 pesos each.
Yeah.
But the only reason I did that was because I knew that they needed the money. I could take one look at them, and they're not eating right. They don't make a lot of money. Don't make any money, really, for the most part. And then to really clarify and drive that statement home, her sister, Georgia Lynn, our lousy camera person at the wedding, passed out. She collapsed at work. And they took her to Jing's house, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So anyway, she got home with family, and it turned out they had a nurse come over and take a look at her, and she was just basically exhausted. The woman works 6 days a week. She gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get to work on time. She has to drive. She's got a kid in school. Her husband works, and they're trying to build a house, and they've got their life goals. And the woman was just flat out cooked. And I offered. I said, you know what? Georgia Lynn's been really good to me.
Yeah.
She's always helped me when I transfer money because she works at Cebuana.
Yeah.
I've met her husband a couple of times. He's a super good guy. And they're just stand-up people. Yeah. And I offered to say, I said, why don't we get them a hotel room? You know, 3 of them or the 2 of them. Because Georgia Lynn needs to rest.
Yeah, she needs the rest.
And she just needs to chill out, and maybe it would be a good idea. Let me treat her to a night or 2 at the hotel, like the Sierra.
Yeah.
And I'll treat them both to a foot massage or a dinner or something, just so they could have a little mini vacation.
Yeah.
And they turned me down. They said, no.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul, but we're just going to stay home. We got stuff to do, and we appreciate the gesture.
Yeah.
But no thanks.
Yeah.
You know, very gently, very
that's
nicely.
my family.
And that's her family.
Yeah.
And that's her. So that answers that question.
Yeah, that's
because there are instances, I'm not going to deny it, where the woman is using the guy primarily for the money.
Yeah.
And that happens. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But that's not our case.
Yeah.
So those are your questions, huh?
Yeah, that's a question.
That didn't have a whole lot to do with the wedding.
From my subscriber.
That's from your subscriber.
Yeah.
So we'll call this the comment video. All right, so hang in there, kids. We're going to sign off, I guess.
Yeah.
And then May will do her magic and clip in the little clips.
Yeah.
And that'll be the end of the video.
Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for watching and subscribe. And don't forget subscribe to the default channel.
You don't need to do that. That's really not a good use of time.
See you next video. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Mary Jane, it's your turn. Oh, no, he stopped. That's okay. He didn't want it to fall off. Can't get out of it. No. Alright. So Mary Jane, can you place the ring on Paul's finger and repeat after me? I give you this ring.
I give you this ring
As a token of pledge. Of constant faith. And abiding love. Again, may I ask Paul and Mary Jane to join hands and face each other full of love and happiness. By virtue of the love invested in me under the laws of the Philippines, calling on all those here present as witnesses, confirm and bless the band of marriage which I have contracted, and now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss your bride. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congrats.
All right. And I'll see you in about a year.
Oh, you're gonna get married too?
Oh, yeah.